Hey, yo, what is good, y'all? Welcome to Yo and Nerd Podcast, and this is episode number 1. Yes, it's the very first episode of the Yo and Nerd Podcast. I am Malcolm McFadden, creator of 615 Comics, and on this podcast, I'll be talking about different things within the nerd universe that I'm interested in, all right? That I'm interested in. I may talk about a couple of things that people are talking about here and there that may be good topics, but just different stuff within the nerd universe. All right. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment on the video. I'd love to hear what you got to say. I may reply, you feel me? But just hit like and subscribe on the channel and then keep up with everything we're doing. And watch my old videos. I got a whole bunch of old videos that you can go check out. Me talking about different stuff that I'm probably going to be talking about on this podcast. So let's just dive right into this journey, bro. Let's do our very first topic on the Yo Nerd podcast, and we're gonna get into something that just was announced a couple weeks ago at DreamCon. Megan The Stallion. Yes, we're starting this off with Megan The Stallion. Megan The Stallion announced that she's working on a brand new anime with Carl Jones. Now, if you don't know who Carl Jones is one of the producers behind the Boondocks, all right? And we know how great that show was. Man, I wish it was still around, bro. The material they would have today for the Boondocks would be crazy. But Megan Thee Stallion is working with the producers of Boondocks to make a brand new anime. And they didn't release too much information about this anime, but they're working on it. And I think that's dope. It got like different people talking about it. Some people are mad. Some people think Meg is like a fake anime fan. I think she really is an anime fan. That's why I'm excited to see this because I think it's going to be dope. But one of the first things I thought of when I heard that they were working on anime was back in the day. I don't know how many of y'all remember this on Spike TV. They had this show called Stripperella. It was made by Stan Lee, the GOAT, and it was basically where Pamela Anderson was a stripper. And then she also was a superhero. And it was like this crazy ass cartoon that they made back in the day. And that was like the first thing I thought of. But I definitely think Megan Thee Stallion is going to be a lot more creative than Stripperella. I think because she really is an anime fan. I think she's going to go deep into that anime bag. Now, I'm excited to see what that looks like. Because I think she can incorporate different things like pop culture and hip hop within this anime. Like we could get cameos from rappers in this anime. Like that would be tough. And then we don't even know what this anime could be about, bro. Like it could be a wide range of things. It's anime, you feel me? It's fantasy. So I think that's really dope. I can't wait to see that. And I love seeing this kind of trend of like uh black celebrities that are nerds jumping into like that nerd universe and doing nerd things. Like not just her, Kid Cudi. He also has a comic book out that is very dope. I think it's called Moon Man and it's very dope. That joint is fire. Um, Metro Boomin has a comic book out. All right, and it's really dope just seeing these creators jump into like that nerd verse. You feel me? And then kind of do nerd things and use their money and where they are in their status to like do these things and have these nerd projects, and it's really dope to see. But I also want to talk about James Gunn, and there's a quote that I saw recently of him talking about Batman and putting Batman in his brand new universe, and he was basically saying that all the Batman stories have been told. Like there's been all the Batman stories have been told. It's basically been the most popular character in comics in the last like 30 years. He was basically saying that most comics in DC have so many Batman comics within the last 30 years that his story has been told and that people love him so much, and that's dope. But the fact that he has so much out kind of makes him boring because his stories have been told. And I fully understand what James Gunn is saying because that's kind of what happens to me as a Batman fan of his comics. They're kind of running out of stories to tell and they're kind of just reshaping old stories of Batman and it's kind of more so just about who's writing Batman at that time. You get what I'm saying? Who's the team on Batman more so than Batman now, if you get what I'm saying. So I get what he's saying like that when it comes to comics. But when it comes to these live action movies, I think he's very wrong and that's a very horrible way to think about Batman. Because if we're talking about live action, most of the people who go to these movies, let's just be honest, a lot of them don't read comics, never have read a comic, never picked up a comic, all right? So, yes, Batman stories have been told, All right, they have been told in comics, but people haven't read these stories or seen these stories. And one of the problems I think people have with comics versus like manga is when they make animes and manga, it's basically like step by step what the manga was, just an anime version. We don't really get that with our comic book movies. They take pieces of different comics, put together, kind of make their own new vision, and I think that's what James Gunn is talking about. He wants to make his own brand new story with Batman, and how can he make him fresh and new when all his stories basically been told? But why not just take the comics and just tell that story in live action? Show that to the audience who has never seen that story, who's never read Legends of the Dark Knights, who didn't read Quarter Owls, who don't even know who the Quarter Owls are. Like, there's so many Batman stories that you can take and put in live action that hasn't been seen that we can do. Like, let's be honest, we only with like the Mr. Freeze movie, we got like Batman dealing with like powered criminals and stuff like that. Like in all the movies we got a Batman, he's mostly like more grounded, more down to earth. You feel me? We haven't really got that big grand scheme of things type of Batman. And so like why not give us that? Like they're also making a Clayface movie, which we'll also talk about in a little bit. They're also making a Clayface movie, but let's get into like different stories of Batman. Let's show these in live action. Let's show Batman up against some aliens. Like I think we already get that with the ODCEU, but you know that went to the downfall. But I just really think you can bring comics to the live action and do them very well. And I just don't think we've done that with comic book movies at all. I think we've made good comic book movies, but I don't think we've just adapted the comic straight into live action. And I think that's something we could do. And I think with Batman, you can easily do some of these stories, bro. Like he has so many villains that you haven't put on screen. Y'all made new villains for him in comics, put them on in the live action. Because like I said, these stories people haven't seen yet. A lot of people haven't seen because they're not comic book fans. All right, we've read them and we've seen them, but we also haven't seen them in live action. Like it still would be new to us. So I get what his quote was saying. I'm fully agree with it on in terms of the comic side, but when it comes to the live action side, I don't agree with it because he definitely has a point. He has a point, and that's why I've been kind of falling off with Batman comics because you're kind of just doing the same thing over again with Batman, doing the same thing over again, and just kind of get repetitive. You feel me? So you only really kind of read Batman for the Ratman, read Batman for the writers and like creative team, artists, and things like that. So, well, even though as I say, I do think that Absolute Batman, the new comic, go check it out if you haven't. It's kind of a new, fresh take on Batman, just kind of how they twisted things in the universe, but they still more so do the same things with Batman, right? And I think the James Gunn take on that isn't really a good take if we're talking about live action, which is also a weird take for him to have when he's also making this Clayface movie with, which is what I want to talk about. They just announced the Clayface actor who his name is, I'm gonna butcher his last name. His name is Tom Harris. I might butcher that, Harris, or maybe that's just a nice way to say Harris. Who knows? But somebody knows. But yeah, they just got a new actor, and then this guy's face is strong. Like he has a strong face, and I think it's gonna be crazy to see his face melt into clay in the movies. Which as we segue into, I want to talk about that is like there you go. Like Clayface is a character that is more like supernatural, has powers, and does different things that we haven't seen in Gotham in live action for real. So I think we could see that in these movies, especially with the Batman. If you're going to do a Clayface movie, like man, this could be like horror feel. He had, like had the horror feel, horror vibes to it, like him shape shifting, seeing his face melt. Like that is gonna, especially that guy's strong ass face, bro. Like just seeing it just start to melt. Like that's gonna be crazy to see in live action. But I just think that that kind of him making that movie, or maybe that goes with his take. Maybe he's trying to do something fresh and new, especially by doing this Clayface movie, which is like I said, that's what he can do. He can do these stories and bring them to life, do things we haven't seen. So I think there's a lot of places to go for James Gunn, and I don't think he should feel like it's boring. I think he should feel like it's it's that's when he should be excited to, especially with how he does and how comic booky his movies look and feel. I think that could be dope for him to do it with Batman. Like make this real comic booky, but make it still dark and have that horror feel. Like I'm ready for that. I'm ready to see that Batman in live action, bro. But that is a lot of the DCU news that we got right now. Superman is ready to come out. For me personally, I'm excited to see it, but not excited to see it because I feel like it's not going to be good. Because to me, it just nothing really looks good about it. Like I think I like the storyline and stuff and where I think they're going with it, but nothing looks good. It just looks like a step up from CW to me. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. I'm still going to go see the movie. I'm still going to go into it with an open mind. It's a new Superman movie, get new Superman content. Mr. Terrific is in it. Mr. Terrific is in it. Uh, uh, a really dope black superhero that not many people know about that they should know about. But I can't wait to see what this looks like, and because this is really the very first opening to the DCU. Like I know we got Creature Commandos, the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, but this is more so into the bigger parts of the DCU. Those were kind of like the underground parts of the DCU. We're going into like the major, big time parts of the DCU, especially with Superman. So I want to see what that looks like, and I'm excited for it. But let's transition into some comics because some big things happened there. Okay, y'all, let's let the cat out the bag. So I was gonna start off with this, but I didn't want to start off the first episode with this that's going on. But we gotta talk about it. I can't run from it. We gotta talk about it. Let's talk about the brand new White Panther. And we all know what that means. Let's talk about the brand new White Panther. So, for a little backstory, there's a new Black Panther coming out. The new Black Panther comic out is called Marvel Knights: The World to Come. All right, and like Marvel Knights does these stories about like different heroes and stuff like that, and they're kind of bringing this back. And this one is about Black Panther, and it's basically about a future of Black Panther where T'Challa dies. All right, I don't know why they got this hard on for killing T'Challa, but T'Challa dies. So T'Challa dies in this future, and then you kind of start the comic off with him dying, and then it goes through events that lead up to him dying. All right, so you probably seen people talk about it, seen the outrage. You know, you done seen screenshots. People talking about it. Didn't even read the comic for real. You saw that Black Panther has a son who just beat him, whipped him. He cheated though. He pulled a little Eddie Guerrero. He cheated to beat him, and then now he is now the new ruler of Wakanda, and it's his son who it turns out to be white. That's kind of what happens in comics. I'm gonna give more context to it because everybody was in outrage about it. Oh, the new Black Panther is white. They're gonna make Ryan Gosling as Black Panther. Like all this stuff is coming to fruition, and I'm kind of on board with the outrage, and I'll tell you why. But there was a lot of outrage on it. I'm gonna put this in context, but just to let y'all know, I think this is all smoke and mirrors. I do not think that this white kid is T'Challa's actual son, and I don't think that he will end up being the actual ruler of Wakanda. All right, for a couple reasons, and I'll tell you because I actually read the comic. A lot of people were outraged that didn't actually read the comic and didn't see what was going on. So in the comic, like I said, they give you certain things that lead up to the death of T'Challa, and they give you like these time frames. And then so if you see it, there's a time frame. He talks about it. He says that like he was married to Storm. He's talking to his mom, who is like who was at like the shrine for Storm, and he made like this whole like memorial for Storm because she's died. But like he married Storm, and he's like that wasn't a good decision. So he kind of had to kick her out of Wakanda, blah blah blah. She ends up dying by a race war, which I think was a very dumb way to kill Storm off screen. It just seemed very disrespectful to kill Storm in that fashion off screen. So I definitely disagreed with that choice. But she died off screen in a race war, and then T'Challa still needed an heir because if he died, Wakanda would go into turmoil. You feel me? Going crazy, chaos everywhere. If he died, he didn't have an heir. So his mom told him, "You need an heir." So then T'Challa spins the block, goes back to his old girl, Monica Lynn, and at this point you see in the comic strip, you see that she's like talking to this white guy. And then she goes to talk to T'Challa, who he then just proposes to her right off jump. And I'll tell you why in a little bit why that white guy is important in the story. So he married Monica Lynn. She turns out to be pregnant, and she marries Monica Lynn, and she's is having his child, his son, and then you go into, they go to the part where he ends up fighting, his son who's masked up in tiger print, which is very weird because tigers aren't really in Africa, but that's neither here nor there. But and then he ends up being T'Challa by cheating, and then taking up being saying, "Hey, now I am the new ruler of Wakanda." He turns out to be white, and then so here's what people are saying. Here's some of the theories I've been seeing. I see that people think that maybe she was pregnant by the white girl before that, and then that yo's kid, and then like T'Challa just raised him, which I think would be stupid if they did do that. Like, why would T'Challa raise this kid who is really not his son, and then all the Wakandans know that's not his son? You feel me? So that would be one. That's one theory that I've been seeing. But I also because nobody believes that this is his actual son because he's blonde hair and blue eyes. You feel me? Like, that's not T'Challa's son. And plus, it's Monica and him and her. Monica and T'Challa are both black, or they're black. So why would their kid come out like that? I think it may be Ross or White Wolf's one of their kids that he adopted and then took in as his own son, which I think is also very weird to do. And then for the Wakandans allow him to fight for the throne when he's not really Wakandan. I think that's very weird. I don't think they would allow that to happen. So there's a lot of things in this comic that I don't understand already. You feel me? So also, I think it could be one of their. Like, I'm agreeing with that. It could be Ross or White Wolf's kid, and then also, I think that his real son is actually out there. I think his real son is actually out there somewhere, and then he will turn out to come up and fight for the mantle of the Black Panther, and soon to be the ruler once T'Challa dies. So I think that's going to happen, and he's going to have to fight the white kid for the throne, which I think is weird that this white kid was even able to fight for the throne, because I really don't think that's T'Challa's kid. But also, I think this was for the outrage. I think they did this to get the outrage, to get people talking about the book, to get people, to buy the book and look into the book. I think is not really a good choice. I think this whole comic series is very weird to me, because I think with just how they've been treating T'Challa in general in all through media, in the games, in the MCU, of course, we know about that. But I think just how they've been treating T'Challa as a whole is just weird. Like, if this comic came out and they haven't done some of the decisions they've done with T'Challa, I think it wouldn't be as bad. Like, seeing a future where T'Challa ends up dying, I think that wouldn't be as bad if they were treating him better throughout media. You feel me? I think this story actually could be really cool. I'm actually pretty mad because I think they weren't creative enough with a future T'Challa. Like, we've got an old man Wolverine, we've got an old man Hawkman, we're getting an old man Daredevil right now. So, like, well, it's not called Old Man Daredevil, but it's basically Old Man Daredevil. Like, we could have got Old Man T'Challa. Why couldn't we get Old Man T'Challa teaching his son, and then training his son to become the Black Panther and the ruler of Wakanda? Like, that would have been fire. And then, like, had there been, like, make for chaos, for turmoil or anything, for just have like something going on in the world that T'Challa has to deal with outside Wakanda, while also teaching his son to become the king of Wakanda, and like have midway through have T'Challa die and his son have to take over, and then while they're at war, like, he had to be like a wartime king before he actually becomes like, just a king. You feel me? So I just think creatively they could have done so many more things with T'Challa, and like, I think they could have done way better with this story. And some of the creative decisions within this first book, I just really wasn't agreeing with. I want y'all to tell me how y'all feel in the comments. Please let me know what y'all think about it, if y'all actually read it. Because people that didn't read it were showing their outrage. It's like, bro, you didn't even read it. Like, actually read and see what's going on. You're spreading misinformation and not even reading the source. You feel me? But also for T'Challa fans, I know you probably going through it right now. You really going through it, all right? You really going through it, T'Challa fans. But I'm here to tell you there is great T'Challa content out there right now. There's Ultimate Black Panther, which is really heating up, bro. Like, it is Ultimate Black Panther. Like, it's like straight up just Black Panther on steroids. The character designs, the characters themselves. It is fire book out right now. It's the best Black Panther content that is out right now. So I think you definitely got to go to that. Marvel also has Imperial out that's out right now. Imperial is a real fire comic. It's basically, man, it's real like intergalactic comic, and basically like in the universe, there's these leaders that are dying, and somebody's killing these leaders, and you find out. I'm gonna give a little spoiler that you find out that the Wakandans may be behind it, the intergalactic empire of Wakanda. If you haven't read that book, please go read it. It's basically Star Wars Wakanda. All right. So so now basically like all these leaders are dying. Like Hulk is out there. Hulk is out there because his son ended up dying. Uh, and then basically, so in the next book of Imperials, in part two, we see T'Challa up against two Hulks, and I can't wait to see what that looks like. So that's more T'Challa content. There's also Predator versus Black Panther that I hear was good. I gotta read that joint. There's also he just made his returns in Avengers, I believe, number 27, I believe. He just made his return into the Avengers number 27. So there's more T'Challa content there. So yeah, if you're a T'Challa fan, there's a lot more T'Challa content out there. But please, before you join up outrage of this book, please at least go check this book out. And it's also written by the OG writer of Black Panther, Christopher Priest. And I've never really been a fan of Christopher Priest's work. I'm just going to be honest. Not really a fan of some of his work. I didn't really like his run of Black Panther. I didn't like that it was from the point of view of Agent Ross. Like it was more so from his point of view, and it was like he had the whole run called The Client, where basically Ross was talking about his client, like the child and all that, and I didn't like how it was from his point of view. I really wish it was more so from T'Challa's point of view, or somebody that was in Wakanda, like a more Wakandan, like maybe somebody that was like his right hand man or something like that. You feel me? But I've never really been too fan of Priest's work, but I'm definitely gonna give this New the World to come a chance. I'm going to read and see where they go with it just to see what they do. But so far, not really with it. Not for me. Not for me. You feel me? But I'm gonna continue to read and see where it goes. Because maybe it is for me. Well, let's take that and let's segue into some more. Since I was a little dull, let's bring up the energy. Let's bring it up. Let's go into some WWE news because I'm also a big WWE fan. Just getting back into WWE, and I see a lot of nerds are also back getting into WWE or already been in WWE. But let's talk about some wrestling, people. Let's talk about some wrestling, bro. So first and foremost, I want to talk about R-Truth. Yes, I've been begging for this for a minute, y'all. I've been begging for this. I've been telling my friends that I hate R-Truth. I hate his character. I hate that he just copies off John Cena's moves. I hate that he's just dumb and a joke. Like like if you remember Ron Killings from back in the TNA days, my man's was fire, bro. Like he was top tier. He was like a super athletic Booker T, bro. Like the corkscrew scissor kick. What? Man, bro, like back in the day, Ron Killings was like that, and I hate what they reduced him to in the WWE. But I love this change that they did for him, and I called it. But I was thinking it was gonna be in mid match with John Cena. I was thinking John Cena was gonna try to cheat, and then R-Truth was basically gonna be like, "No, forget this, and I'm gonna just be me," and he just would go off, use his old move set and everything. But I think that's what's happening now. He's getting a change, and I love it that they definitely fired that man, and the fans was like, no, no, we want truth, and they brought him back. I don't care what Triple H say. He fired that man and then brought him back because the fans was cheering, and also wrestlers was mad too. So R-Truth, I think I can't wait to see his run as Ron Killings, and please bring back the old moveset. Please bring back the old moveset. Let's get it, because he's still athletic. Like he don't gotta do the crazy stuff, but I really want to see the corkscrew scissor kick back. Like that would be tough, bro. As me as an OTNA fan, I would love to see it. But let's talk about let's talk about Bill Goldberg. I love how collectively all wrestling fans is like, why? It's like, why are we doing this? So they've been teasing it for a while. Goldberg versus Gunther. And as a diehard Goldberg fan, bro, Die hard. I almost got in trouble when he came back and speared The Rock on Monday Night Raw. I almost got in trouble in the crib for yelling all loud, bro. As a die-hard Goldberg fan, we don't need this. We don't want this. Like, nobody asked for this. We don't need it, bro. Like, Gunther, y'all been messing up his world title run. Like, his Intercontinental title run is infamous. Like, that journey is classic. And y'all haven't done nothing with his world title run. And now we're getting him versus Goldberg. And Goldberg can't even. Goldberg messed up his whole promo. Goldberg said, "You're mine." I know he messed up and then had to redo it and say, "You're next," bro. Like, Goldberg was wounded after he did the whole kick and explosion. Man, I love Goldberg. Man, I love Goldberg. I normally don't take no Goldberg slander, but no, we didn't need this. We didn't. He didn't even spear him when he came out. Like, what are we doing here? Can he even do the jackhammer anymore? What are we doing here? Like, we don't need this. But let's talk about, since Gunther has the title, but let's talk has the title back. Let's talk about Jey Uso and what they may be doing with him. Because I know you've been seeing the quotes. If you're a fan, you've been seeing the Rikishi quotes. And Rikishi been going off, and he has a point, bro. Like, Jay is over. Jay is over. Like, fans love Jay. My son is 2 years old. He be in here yeeting. You feel me? 4 letters, 2 words. Like, you've been seeing the graduation videos of people doing that, bro. Like, he's over. And I kind of don't know what they're doing with Jey Uso. For me, I think Jey Uso, that man just, his spear sucked. Like, he need an actual finisher, bro. Like, the Uso splash is cool, but he needs his own finisher, and the spear sucks. I don't even know why he does the spear. That's Roman Reigns. Let Roman have that. Like, his spear is literally trash. Like, Gunther did a spear on him in the match, and Gunther's spear was better. Like, I think Jay is dope. I think at times he would be a good wrestler. I think he just needs his own finisher. And they just need to do better with his story, because I just don't even know where they're going with Jey Uso. Like, I don't know where they're going with that at all. Try to put him and his brother back as a tag team because they don't know what to do with his brother. They're going to try to put him back as a tag team. I think that could be cool because there's a lot of good tag teams now, and I think that run could be fire, but it's kind of weird making him main event Jey Uso just to go back to being tag team Jey Uso. You get what I'm saying? But that could be dope, but that I want to segue that into talking about the tag team division, because SmackDown is cooking. SmackDown is cooking. Like, they are cooking with the tag team division. They've been cooking. I'm loving it. The Street Profits have the championship. Yeah. And they doing great with that. But Raw, it's kind of weak. It's kind of just really the New Day, which I love the heel turn, but you need to do better with their title run. War Raiders, and then Judgment Day. Like, you're not really doing nothing with nobody else in the tag team. I think Raw needs a tag team division. Like, I was mad that the Wyatt Six went to SmackDown. Keep them on Raw. Why are they going for the SmackDown? There's like 80 tag teams in SmackDown right now. I think maybe you can move Pretty Deadly over to Raw. Get some real tag team divisions on Raw. Raw got basically everything else except for a tag team division. Bro, like, give them that. Give them that. Alright? But also in the WWE, bro, what they are doing good, and this is the last topic of WWE talk, they're doing a great job with Naomi. What? They're doing a great job with Naomi. She's doing a great job with Naomi, bro. Like, Naomi, I don't think they give her enough credit. Her, Bianca, and Jade, what they did with their attire. What they do with their attire and the story they tell with their attire is crazy. With their, like, I think when she did the caution tape, like, that was fire, bro. Like, I don't think they get enough credit for what they've done with their telling the story through their attire. And I think Naomi's doing great. And I think I told my friends before she even got the title, I was like, bro, she's winning this Money in the Bank match because they're going to put a title on her, because I think she's going to retire soon. Because she said that. She said she possibly is going to retire soon. So I think she's going to retire soon. So they're going to give her a nice run to, like, as a send-off. And I'm good with that because she's doing great on the mic. Her promos are great. What she's doing on Twitter is great. Like, her in-ring is great. Like, she's literally killing it on all cylinders right now, bro. Like, Naomi is probably, I think, out of all the wrestlers in the WWE, she's doing the best job, like, because she's doing it all around. Like, in the ring, out the ring, everything is good with her right now. She's killing it. So, shouts to Naomi. She's doing her thing, and I think they're going to give her like a nice little farewell tour with the title and everything. So, can't wait for that, bro. I really cannot wait for that. And give Karrion Kross some time, bro. Give that man some minutes. Get that man off the bench. Put him in the game. Put Karrion Kross in the game. The man, the people are cheering for him to get in the game, bro. They out there, like, you know how when they ended the game, like when they was cheering for Bronny to get in the game, they cheering for Karrion Kross to get in the game. Give my man some minutes, bro. Let my man's be the eighth man off the bench. Let him move up to be the sixth man. You feel me? I'm telling you, bro. I think he could be a starter. I think he could be an easy starter. I love Karrion Kross. Give my man some minutes, bro. He's killing. He's cheering on people from the bench. He's getting out water to everybody. He making sure everybody hydrated. Making sure they got the energy to go back in the game and do their thing. Give my man some minutes. There's some minutes there for him. There are some minutes there for him. Come on, man. Let's do this, WWE. Give my man some minutes. That's how I'm gonna end this WWE talk. Give my man some minutes. All right, y'all. So to round off this very first episode of the Yo and Nerd podcast, let's give a little round of applause for that. Yeah. I want to leave y'all with a little something. All right. I'm gonna leave y'all gonna leave here with something. You feel me? Like Denzel said. I'm gonna give y'all some comic book recommendations. All right. So as I know people love the big two, so I'm gonna give y'all one from each of the big two, but I'm a firm believer in reading stuff outside the big two for more creativity, just different types of stories that you can get. I'm a very firm believer in reading outside big two, especially if you're just a comic fan. Like, there's so many stories to read. So I'm gonna be giving y'all one from DC, one from Marvel, and also just one, just whatever. So for today, my DC pick for today, since we talked about the DCU, my DC pick for today is Mr. Terrific, the new 52 run. Yes, the new 52 run, Mr. Terrific, was awesome. It was dope. Bro, it's a lot of cool things in that. That is the story that really made me say, bro, he's probably the coolest character in the DC universe. All right, so definitely read Mr. Terrific, the new 52 run of that. New 52 gets a lot of hate, but they did a lot of dope stuff, and Mr. Terrific was one of them. So check out the new 52 Mr. Terrific run for DC, and also for Marvel. I want y'all to check out the Storm Volume 1. Storm has an ongoing series right now that is fire, bro. It's just putting Storm in like a whole new light as like a hero, as like, just being even a cosmic being, like just how powerful she is. This is a brand new Storm story that I think people really will check out. It's very well written, very well written. You just need to check out this Storm Volume 1, and then it's still ongoing. You can check it out and then jump on to the series. All right, Storm Volume 1 from Marvel. And for outside of the big two, my pick is this comic called Grimm. Now, it's written by this comic book writer who is on Twitter. Her name is Stephanie Phillips. She has a lot of dope content on her TikTok where she kind of talks about being a comic book writer, working for DC and Marvel, and also working in comics in general. She has a lot of dope information, and from that, I wanted to check out her comic, and I wanted something. And this is actually really recent. I've been wanting something outside of superhero realm, and then so she has this comic book Grimm. And now this comic book is where this girl, she is a Reaper, and she has to basically help people go to the afterlife. And then so most Reapers remember how they died. She does not, and it's like this whole mystery, right? And then also the real big Grim Reaper, he's gone. He's off somewhere. So like it's this story about where he is in this big mystery, and she's trying to figure out why she doesn't know how she died. So it's actually a very dope story by Stephanie Phillips, very dope comic book writer. And this story is really dope. I'm not even finished the first volume. I'm almost done, but it's really dope. If you on your emo bag, this is definitely something for you, bro. If you really like, like the afterlife type of deal, Reapers, kind of like a dark feel to it with a little comedic twist a little bit, this is definitely something for you. All right. Those three stories right now, the Storm and Grimm are fairly new. Like I said, New 52 Miss Terrific, that's more so, I believe. New 52 is 2010, a little bit early. I may have that off. But yeah, New 52 is a little bit older, but it's it helps you now to know who Miss Terrific is for the Superman movie that's coming up. All right. So those are my comic book recommendations, and this has been the very first episode of Yo and Nerd Podcast. Thank y'all for watching. Like I said, like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let's talk. Let's chop it up in the comments. You feel me? But like and subscribe, and like always, tell your friends about me. All right. Tell your friends about Malcolm McFadden, creator of 615 Comics, and tell them about Yo and Nerd Podcast. And I'll be back with another episode, hopefully.